Welcome to another edition of Wealth Without Borders podcast. And today I'm delighted to have with me Fionn Wright. Welcome, Fionn.
Thanks, Howard. Pleasure to be here.
And whereabouts in the world are you today, and what is the weather like?
My favorite city in the world, Shanghai, and the weather's absolutely gorgeous. It's scorching outside, high 30s.
Fantastic. Well, I'm here too, looking at a blue sky, beautiful day, yes, and it is scorching. So today, Fionn, for those of you who don't know, is a personal coach for entrepreneurs and executives. And the podcast title is Living Your Dream, Create a Life You Love, Finally. So I'm very keen to hear about that. And are you ready to get going? You know, it's 8 questions in just 8 minutes, Fionn. And I'm pretty strict with my timekeeping, but you're ready to rock?
Sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. So, question number 1, who is your ideal client?
So my ideal client is entrepreneurs who are at the stage where they're doing pretty well. They have a good leadership team and they're looking to free themselves up. They're looking to automate. So often I'll work with the entrepreneur themselves on their own development and how they can go out into the world and do more of what they love and how they can then leave that team and automate them. So often I'll work with the leadership team as well and coach them to support them to be able to handle the business when the entrepreneur goes and has their wings and they fly away.
Okay, fantastic. 7 minutes 19 remaining. Question 2, what is the problem you solve?
So the biggest thing that people usually tell me as I've been coaching with them, some of them for years, is I'm like a sounding board. I'm the person they can come to talk about anything, right? Like, because if they bring their problems to their business partner, then there's like a bit of a, like, you know, the trust issue going on or whatever. Or if they bring it back home to their spouse, then, you know, there's financial questions that come up, or if it's friends, their friends might give them advice. So I'm a purely objective point of view on someone's life, business, their situation, and support them to really look at that from the third person perspective and to be able to make effective decisions about where they want to go and what they want to do.
Fantastic. Well, I can endorse the need to have a person outside in that way. 6 minutes 23 remaining. Question number 3, what's the typical symptoms of people who experience with that problem?
So I would say that, generally most of the people that I work with are already doing quite well. You know, they're already quite successful, whether they're entrepreneurs or executives. Often the executives are moving into entrepreneurship. And so it's not so much that, you know, they're struggling too hard with something. It's more generally that they're looking to get themselves to the next level. They're looking to make some sort of a transition or transformation. And so the work that I do is essentially sort of getting an analysis and understanding of where they are right now, making that super clear, and getting an idea of where exactly is it that they want to go. What is it that they would like to change? And once we can get that clear, that's often part of the coaching process. So when people come to me, they're not exactly sure, but they will often have an idea that something needs to change. They're not sure what. And then we work through that process of making it clear, coming up with a vision, setting a strategy to move in that direction, and then figuring out what resources or tools are needed in order to make that a reality.
Fantastic. So it's really a bit of a lack of clarity, it sounds like. 5 minutes and 7 remaining. Question number 5. What's one valuable free action that people checking out the show today can implement that will solve at least some of that problem?
The number one thing that I find with my coaching clients is if they either learn to meditate or start meditating more, everything becomes clearer. They have more capacity in their daily life. They're able to stay present with what's ever going on for them, and they're able to make effective decisions. Now, sleep / meditation, I would say, are both important, right? Because it's that sort of like having downtime, having time to relax, having time where you can just sort of be at peace with yourself is really important, so that when you are in the zone and needing to focus and needing to do things, that you're able to tap into that inner space where you're able to make effective, good decisions about what it is that you want to be doing. So I teach about 30 different types of meditation. and I've been practicing for over a decade now. And one of the things that I find is, people have often heard about meditation or even tried it maybe a few times, but there's not all that many people who have a very solid, regimented, daily practice. And so that's one of the things that I often do with people is, let's get you into daily practice, but not just any daily practice. Let's design a specific form of meditation that suits your personality, your learning style, everything that is working best for you. And in that way, we tailor make a specific type of meditation. But again, that's free. So it's if you just learn to meditate, there's plenty of videos on YouTube or wherever you can learn to meditate. And my recommendation would be to test out different types of meditation and then choose one and stick to that.
Right. Fantastic. 3 minutes, 13 remaining. What's one valuable free resource that you can direct people to that will further help people with that problem?
Yeah, so on my website, I have a free ebook people can download. So they can go directly to the website and have a look at the ebook. And if they're interested in going deeper, I'd also be happy to offer a free consultation to people who are interested in learning a bit more, or seeing how specifically I might be able to help them.
Great. And we'll put the link to that website and the ebook on the podcast. 2 minutes, 39 remaining. Question number 7. What concept or book or program or talk has been most impactful in your experience, Fionn?
Well, I'm going to talk a little bit from my own personal experience. Since I was a kid, I've always been a bit of a kind of sci-fi junkie. I love reading. I love watching sci-fi movies. I love understanding what the future is going to be like. And that actually, it really does impact the work that I do, because a lot of what I do is helping people prepare for the future and making sure they're setting themselves up right. So the one book that has been most impactful to me in my life, Isaac Asimov, you might have heard of the movie I, Robot. So he's one of the best sci-fi writers of all time, undoubtedly, and maybe the best. And there's a series that he wrote, a trilogy actually, called the Foundation series. But I would say if you just start with the first book of the Foundation series, I doubt you'll be able to put it down. And it will give you a whole different idea of what the future might look like.
Fantastic. Yeah. Personal favorite, Asimov. Just 1 minute, 30 remaining. Question number 8. What's the one question that I should have asked you that I didn't, that you feel will give great value to people listening and watching today?
Yeah, I would ask, what can I do right now? And my answer to that question would be, take a moment. So even right now, the people listening, take a moment and feel into your body. Notice what's going on. Notice if there's any tension anywhere. Just kind of be mindfully aware of what's going on in your environment right now. What can you hear? What can you see? What are the thoughts floating around in your mind? Just observe them without judging them as right or wrong or good or bad. What are the feelings that are going on? And if you can just do that, this has just taken us 20 seconds here. If you can just do that a few times throughout your day, you bring yourself back into your body, back into your environment. You become aware of what you're thinking instead of chasing your thoughts. And you're aware of what's going on in terms of your feelings. And if you can do that consistently throughout your day, then what ends up happening is you move from being reactive, and it's very easy to be reactive, to proactive.
Fantastic. Perfect timing, Fionn. So be proactive rather than reactive. And sadly, our alarm clock is reactive, not proactive. It rudely interrupted you on your very last word. But thank you so much, Fionn. You've brought a wonderful amount of value in just 8 minutes, which is no easy feat.
Thank you very much, Howard. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Many thanks for checking out Wealth Without Borders podcast. I'd love you to head over to iTunes, subscribe, and leave us a review. And if you'd be kind enough to do that, I would really appreciate it. And then if you want to know more about what I do, check out wealthwithoutborders.net.